All right, we're back on this site with the Alaskan slab. First things first, pulled off the house. The homeowner had it staked out. Just pulled off the house, made sure everything was parallel with the house, and re-squared it, because you always double check someone else's measurements. So we got that, the parallels. We're gonna square it. Got my overdig with this orange line. Gonna box all this out, put all the fill down here. I just shot with the laser. We got 16 inches of different elevation here. So we gotta do some serious build up with the crusher run. All right, we just shot with the laser. The X's are grade, so we're grade right through here. That's 1 inch down. This has got to go 2 more inches, 3 inches, and 3 inches. So not bad, just doing it right off the cuff. A couple more inches and we got it. And we can install the crusher run. right, so I shot this. This is all good here. What we're gonna do here is take out, we box this out to get to this stone driveway. Then we're gonna take this stone driveway and make it as wide as the garage, just so he can get in his garage doors. All right, not bad for quick tune-up. We're an inch, got to come up an inch right here. The X's over there, the 3 are dead nuts. Got to come up 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches. And this is dead nuts there, and 2 inches. So a little bit. Not bad, not bad. Quick tune-up, compact the hell out of that. And then we set our forms, our 3-sided form, boom, 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 on that. Then we fill the whole center with crusher run. And then it would have the haunches, that whole outside, which will be 16 inches thick. All right, the base is all tamped. So far, only took a couple hours, the whole project. Got this driveway extended. I'm at a crusher run, so I'm gonna go get a load. And I'll be back. All right, just dropped the stone off. We're gonna start forming the boards. And this center is 10 inches thicker than the outside perimeter, which will give you 16-inch haunch all the way around. And we'll taper that up and compact the center. Looks like a lot of stone in here, but that's what it calls for. All right, so we got the boards getting scabbed together. You just scab them with other boards, and that's a rough cut 2x4 on the top of a 12-inch, which will give us 16 inches. So we shoot the laser down here at the base like I did earlier, and then you go down on the stick 10 inches, and that will give you a 6-inch center of concrete, so that this crusher run up here is 10 inches higher than the haunch base. So right now we got to go down 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to make some screed marks so I can do it with the machine. So got to go down. So we just do that in 4 or 5 points across, right there. 4 or 5 points across this whole area. Then we could rake it out, grade it, and tamp the center. And just put an X. Hey, put an X right there. And do the same thing back all throughout this area, around all the edges, and a couple in the center, and then grade it out and tamp it. All right, we got the boards going in. We got this crusher run set to height, 10 inches thick and compacted. We ran short on this side, so we have to bring some more in the morning. 16 inches on the boards, and we scab them all. And then we're gonna put a whaler right here. You'll see that tomorrow. But this is how we do the back side. I don't know if you can see with the view, but it's all tapered at a 45. And that's what you call a haunch. Then rebar, get 2 strands of rebar, get put in that with wire mesh wrapped into it, and wire mesh throughout the whole thing. Then it acts like a crab cage and holds it together. All right, we're back on this site with the Alaskan slab. Been putting 2 hours here, 2 hours there, because it's been raining all week. Real frustrating. So what we're doing here is putting whalers on. We call these whalers. It's just a 2x4 that we're going to put it right to the side on the top, and it will straighten that wood form right out. So when the pressure of the concrete comes against it, it doesn't want to bow it as much. I mean, we got 16 inches of concrete. They do like to bow. That's why we use 2-inch lumber. And then when we set them to a string, we actually put a preload on them, which we just take the centers here and push them in just a little bit on the string, about a 1/2 inch or so. We cheat it in, and then that, when the concrete pushes, it pushes it right out to the string. And then you adjust it as you go. If it needs it in a little more, you take a stake and you push it in, or you release pressure to bring it out. So that's where we're at. We're gonna just get the rebar put in and the wire, and then it'll be ready for inspection. All right, we just squared everything up with 2 tape measures like I showed in previous videos. Retamped the center, got our 45 all looking pretty, and now we're gonna bend rebar all in the haunch. This is a rebar bender. Hang on, mate. So what we do is you just take your rebar, stick it in there, and bend it just like that. Just pull it, it goes right up, and you get a 90 out of it. Perfectly done. Because for code, any corners on any job, not just this one, your rebar has to go a 90. You can't take a straight piece here and a straight piece here and tie it, because then it could split. They won't allow that. So you got to bend through a 90 at least a foot. And we do 2 strands all the way around, and then we tie it all together with some wire ties, and then tie it to the wire mesh, which you'll see in a bit. All right, so this rebar bender is also a rebar cutter. So just insert your rebar through there. There's a hole, and then there's a shear inside there. Don't stick your finger in there, whatever you do. She's sharp. So once you get it measured out, good.
Got it, boss.
Just pull her down, just like, oh, maybe, just like that. And she shears, and she'll do up to 5 inch. This is 1/2 inch bar. She'll do 3/4, and you really got to muscle it through to cut 3/4 if it's industrial strength. They make different grade rebar too. If you buy the cheaper rebar, you can bend it with your hand, you know, and depends where you get it from. But #1 USA steel is what we use. So we will tie it together, show you in a bit. All right, these are the twisty ties we use, and this is the twisted sister. And this is Miko.
How's it going, guys?
He talks a lot, he just hasn't been talking much on the videos. Whoa, I just dropped you. All right, so here we are. Here's the rebar. Show you how it gets twisted on. We usually twist it two twisty ties on each. 2 twisties. There's 2 hoops, 1 hoop there, 1 hoop there. Loop it around, hook it through, and then twist it. She's done. We do 2 on each bar, sometimes 3 if it needs to be, but calls for 2. And there it is. Do that all the way around, and then we install the wire. All right, so this is what I was talking about, a preload. if you see this, where we got this string, let me go back here where you can see a little better. We got a string on each corner with a screw. Run them right down. We leave that as we pour, just so we can wash the forms if they go in and out. Because like I said, concrete, once the water from the concrete soaks into these boards, it wants to swell. That's how you bend a board anyways, if you were to bend one. But right here the string is on, but in the centers of the boards we put a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of preload, which is this way, the board this way on the string. So instead of here, it's there. That way when the concrete pushes on it, it will push, and then it will be perfect. And then we'll have boards off of here as braces, and you will be able to adjust those as the concrete is poured after we get it in. The other thing is put a string line like an X from corner to corner before you install the wire, to make sure you have 6 inches of concrete, because then otherwise you gotta take the wire out. So make sure your grade's all good with a string line. That's the easiest and fastest way after you laser it, because lasering, you're only doing points. You could have humps in and out. So once we get that all done, we'll fine tune, rake the top, and then install the wire. All right, everything is ready for inspection besides the bracing, which inspector doesn't care about that. We are gonna go get a load of stone to put in around this whole perimeter. Homeowner just asked me to do that because we got a little water seepage in here, and he'd rather just have stone in there instead of dirt, which I agree. So we're gonna go with this stone here, and then that whole back side is way low, so we are going to fill it with stone. And this is how we do the crab cage. What I was saying, 2 rebars, and I don't know if you could see that, but this wire mesh we bend at a 90 and then hook the bars to it, tie it, and it acts like a crab cage. It holds everything together. I mean, code just calls for 2 bars and then the wire up here not going down, but we give it some extra strength by doing that. It's just something I always do. So this whole side we're gonna fill in with some stone right now. It drops off a good 2 feet, and then we'll take all this topsoil and go over the top of it, and then right here, so he's got garage doors here and there, 2 sets, so it's got to have some build up. So I'll be back. All right, we got everything pinned and braced, ready for Monday. 11:30's concrete inspection was today, and that went well. And all this excess stone we will push after we strip, and that will become the drainage stone. And we got this whole side filled in with stone too, which this side was down 22 inches, so that'll work out. Then we'll take this topsoil, go over the whole top, feather it out that way, feather it in here. Hopefully he'll have enough. If not, we'll have to bring some more in. But other than that, we're good to go. Thanks.